Hello guys, welcome to Shake the Mic. Hello and welcome to Shake the Mic. Today I'm joined by professional cage fighter Liam McCracken. Liam, welcome. Thanks very much for coming on, mate.
Nice one for having me on, mate. Thank you.
Mindset. Let's talk about mindset. Mindset as a fighter, you've got to have a very strong mindset. You've got to be resilient. For you, where does your mindset come from?
I'd say my mindset comes from years of showing up, just teaching myself resilience through like taking me beatings, keeping on showing up until like eventually, like they say, like the hammer and the nail, like you've got to be the nail and then eventually you get to become the hammer, do you know what I mean? So been saying for a long time, kept showing up, and I think that's where like my strong mentality come from.
There's a saying, isn't there, if you hang around a barber shop long enough, you'll get your hair cut.
Yeah, that's the one. That's me, you know.
Physically, so basically developing physically, you think has helped you develop mentally.
Yeah, 100%. The more you show up, the better you get. The more skillful you get, the more you start actually believing in yourself. It's got to the point now where, like, without sounding up my own arse, I know I'm good. Like, so it's hard for me not to believe in myself. Like, when I watch back my training, man, I'm looking at myself and like, no, I am good. So it's hard for me not to believe.
I believe as a fighter, you've got to know you're good. You've got to think you're good, and you've got to have that little bit of like cockiness about yourself. Because if you haven't, there's not enough self-belief there.
No, you get found out in the cage as well. Like, it's all right in training camp and things like that, but when it's real and the pressure's on, it's just you in there. It doesn't matter what no one else is saying, then it's all on you. There's no hiding when you're in there.
Do you do anything to reinforce that self-belief, anything to strengthen it for your mind, more than the physicality side of things?
Little bits. I probably should do more, to be honest, because I think the mental side is probably, once you get to a certain point, it's 90%. More important. It is literally, I used to get told that when I was a kid and I didn't understand it, but now as I'm getting older, I get what that means. Like the skills, like everyone knows how to throw a punch at my level now. Everyone knows how to do a certain move. Do you know what I mean? It's like the mentality and the little things that set you apart.
Yeah, to separate yourself.
Mm-hmm. But as you're saying, for things I do, like a little bit of visualization, well, quite a lot actually leading up to my fight. I like to visualize everything, every scenario of a fight. I've seen it before I go in there, and affirmations as well, like telling myself how good I am before a fight. As like I said, going into the cage, as I'm walking out, I'll just tell myself I'm the best, things like that, little things that make you feel good. Do you know what I mean?
Are they your affirmations, Liam, like just along the lines of I'm the best?
It's, you know what, it's what I come up with in my head at the time. I try not to, I don't like plan it out, but anything that makes me feel good and like, makes me believe in myself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. When you have the visualizations and you visualize every eventual outcome, do you visualize bad ones as well?
Yeah, 100%. I've seen myself getting knocked out in my own head hundreds of times before it comes to the fight, but I've seen me knocking him out probably a few more times, so it's all good.
The reverse side of the bad ones, do you think it fuels you?
Yeah, 100%.
Fear's one of the greatest drives, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I hate fighting fights where there's no fear involved, so I'm like, it's like a sort of like a guaranteed win. I love the thing of being like, I could get beat. Yeah, that's what excites me and like gets me out of bed and that, do you know what I mean?
You need that, don't you? You've got to have that fear factor there to drive, especially if you want to see the best Liam McCracken.
Yeah.
If you're just turning up where it's like, yeah, this kid's a bit of a journeyman, I think I'm going to smash him up. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can never be complacent either, can you? Because you don't know who you're getting in there with, and even though you've seen things or heard about that fight, it doesn't necessarily mean what you see is what you get. When you turn up, you've got to be the best version of you, haven't you?
Yeah, a fight's a fight at the end of the day. I could be a lot more skilled than someone, like I know it firsthand, I've seen it. I could be a lot more skilled fighter than someone and they land a good punch and put me asleep, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
it can happen, yeah. Everybody's got a puncher's chance, haven't they?
100%. A fight's a fight, and there's that many, I don't know what the word is, but there's that many like factors that go into a fight.
Eventualities.
There's that many eventualities that like, it's not
variables.
Just, that's the word I was looking for.
So was I, but I couldn't get it. There's that many variables
that go into it that like, if one of those things is off, you could lose the fight. It's not just about my skill versus skill. I wish it was, I feel like I wouldn't lose many of the time, but there's a lot of factors, isn't there? 100%.
How you are on a day. It comes down to that. It comes down to everything. Yeah. And then, as we said, mindset massively as well
Yeah.
as the physical side of things. What made you want to be a professional cage fighter and get punched in the face for a living?
I don't know. When I get put like that, see me, I'm like, oh fuck knows. But it's probably the only thing I've like ever truly loved doing. Like I just couldn't imagine myself doing like a normal job, like 9 to 5, something like
I
that.
had
Like,
this question for you later on, but I think it's right to ask you it now. If you weren't a cage fighter, what would you be?
a bum or something. I don't know. Yes. But like, outside of fighting, and obviously my family, like, I'm not interested in nothing. Honestly, like, I'm really not.
Hobbies and interests, have you got any?
No, it's something I want to work on a bit more, is like actually doing something outside of fighting that I can do just for enjoyment. Like I've just started playing like a little bit of footy with my mates five side, just because at first I got into fighting because I loved it. But when something becomes your job, it can sort of take the fun away. Like I love sparring. Sparring is like the best thing as a fighter. But when I'm in camp, if I lose a round, like I've got so much pressure on it because I know if I lose that round, I'm going to be in my own head.
Yeah.
Next time I spar that person. Do you know what I mean? So
when you go home as well, that goes home with you and it stays with you, doesn't it?
I'm terrible for it.
Yeah.
I'm terrible for that.
Because you weren't at your best, but everyone has off days.
Yeah.
And if you weren't losing around when you're sparring, Liam, in my opinion, you're not sparring the right people.
Yeah, 100%. That is right.
If you're winning all the time, if every time you're getting in and you're coasting, or even if you just slightly got that upper hand, the competition's not fierce enough. Where if you're putting yourself in them positions where it's a position of discomfort, and you're in there with people who are just that slight, just enough, not too much where it knocks fucking your confidence and where there's no room for growth, but where there's that like element of, I've got to be at my best here. Yeah. When you walk in the gym and the coach goes, you're sparring such and such, and you go, fuck, they're the spars you need.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like we were speaking about before, about the fear thing. Like I want to be sparring someone who I'm nervous about sparring, because I know like it's going to be go back and forth rounds, and if I lose, then I'm going to be going home upset. But that me going home upset, what's going to drive me to get better.
Anyone who's not a fighter who's watching, sparring's hard work, innit? I mean, like the way you said there, if you lose, like people think, well, it's a spar, no one can win. Well, no one gets totally won, but you know and I know, if we spar, you know, if you beat me or I beat you up, you fucking know.
Yeah, no.
And you go home, you take that home and you go, Canelli kept catching me with that there, or I kept walking into that, or you know what I mean?
Some people aren't like that. Like some people just look at it like sparring, but the way I am, I'm very competitive. I want to win everything, even the things that I shouldn't be too bothered about. Like losing a round, things like that bother me. I've been like that since I was a kid. Like if I was in the gym rolling, I wouldn't tap the submissions when I was younger. Like I've hurt myself a few times. So like even though I was in the gym, it means nothing. Like,
yeah,
I've grew out of that now. If I got tapped at, if I was getting like tapped, I'd be like crying and punching the walls, and that's just embarrassing myself. But like I said, that was just when I was younger. I'm starting to grow out of all that now.
Now that you are older, if you are going to get tapped in the gym and that, obviously you're a professional fighter, so you know there's more on the table than just fucking. So it's like, yeah, do I want to get my arm pulled out of my socket, or do I just want to fucking tap you? And we'll live to roll another day, and tomorrow you're back in there again, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if I'm in the submission, I've made the mistake already, so better tapping and fixing the mistake.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way of looking at it.
You know what I mean? That's what my coach used to tell me ages ago. But when you're a kid, like
you couldn't listen to it.
Big ego,
immature. The second you know you've made that mistake, it's like, okay, so I'm in the submission. This is a mistake I've made, and now I need to rectify that mistake so I don't see that thing coming again.
Yeah,
boxing's a game of chess, and so and most striking combat sports are, but with MMA and that, there is so many variables, isn't there? You know what I mean? And we'll come to that a little bit later on. Yeah. Because there is so many variables. Does fighting pay the bills for you currently? No. Do you have a day job?
No. I've sort of just learned how to go skins. I've got like a very supportive family. Obviously, I'm in a bit of a tough situation at the minute, because I've got a little girl who's 9 months old, and as a man, you want to be the one providing things like that, and I do my best. You know what I mean? Like they 100%. Don't, girlfriend and the baby don't go with those. But as for fighting, like it doesn't pay the bills.
You're not sitting around only, am I? You're not one of them dads who's waking up in the morning and not doing nothing, sitting on the couch playing on the PlayStation. You're out there and you are trying. You're making inroads to make a life for your family. But right now, there's a sacrifice period before reward. And the reason why I asked you about fighting and paying the bills is because so many people, he's a pro fighter, and they just think, wow, he's on the telly, he's getting loads of money. Do you know what I mean? And at the lower level, it's not like that, is it?
People think until I'm absolutely skinned. Like, swear to God, it's bad. Like, it is just the thing of people think like once they hear the word professional, like they think like professional footballer and professional fighter must be getting paid the same. Or you think MMA, everyone, the first person you think of is Conor McGregor.
But not all Conor McGregor.
No,
that's what I was just
like,
Dana 60 G's, baby.
couldn't be further from it.
But if you watch Conor McGregor or if you follow any of the stuff, like he says, in his early days, he was getting letters coming through his door left, right and centre with bills, and he was picking them up, going during the fucking queue.
Yeah.
Like his Mrs. D and that, he was saying, like, I had no dough whatsoever. I was really, really, really struggling.
It can all change in a day, though.
In a heartbeat, in a moment.
Like, you can go from that to getting a phone call saying, like, you've been offered this and you're getting paid this. And I've already had a little taste of that. So, my last fight was on Bellator, which is, like, the second biggest show in the world. It's a good show. And, like, compared to what I'm used to getting paid, when I got sent through the contract for that, I was looking at it like, wow. Like, to other people, it might not sound like nothing, but for what I'm used to seeing, do you know what I mean? I'm talking, like, professional fighting starting out, you're getting paid, like, 300 to 500 quid, 500 quid's a good payday. But the expense of a fight camp, like, it's not remotely,
I don't
even closely break even. Do you know what I mean? It's bad.
Insane, isn't it?
So when I seen that, I was like, oh, this is nice.
I think it's all the like gratitude with fighting in terms of the coaches as well, because whoever your coaching team is around you, which we'll touch on a little bit later on, they know right now there's a lot of work for little reward. Don't get me wrong. There's massive reward in seeing you grow as a fighter. That's massive, because for them, you're their prodigy. Yeah. And they're training you and putting time in. So when they see you get in there and you get your hand raised, there must be no better feeling for them. However, there's no big payday on the back of it for them. But they know later on, if you strike big and you keep going down the road you're going down and stay on that same trajectory, eventually money's going to come with it, isn't it? For everyone in the team, not just yourself.
It's all about the bigger picture. Same as we were saying before with like your girlfriend, the baby, like they understand like it's not about now. Like we're willing to like struggle now. So like hopefully in 10 years time, like I don't want my girlfriend to ever have to work. Again, I just want us to be able to look after the kids and things like that.
Do you know the way you practice visualization and you visualize your fights?
What's that?
Do you know when you practice visualization, you visualize your fights? Yeah. Do you ever visualize the future and what the future could hold for you?
Yeah, I do actually. I've just started reading the book then about like my nutritionist sent me it. It's called Becoming Supernatural. It's about sort of things like that. Saying like people end up getting so caught up with the past that like you can end up getting yourself so stressed out about the past. Why can't you get yourself so excited for the future?
I love a good read. I love a good read, lad, yeah. I was speaking to a friend of mine as well, and he was saying to become the person you want to be or to achieve the status you want to achieve, he was saying about this method about working backwards. So he was saying like, stop trying to be them, pretend you're that person now.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're that person now, and act like that person, you will become that person.
That book's also like a similar thing. It says about like meditating, but like walking meditations of like going for a walk is like your future self of who you want to be. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's very powerful, like because you're stepping into the shoes of that person you want to be.
Yeah,
it's fucking, it's mind blowing.
I'm starting to get more into things like that as I am getting older.
And what fascinates me about like professional fighters who aren't getting paid big money, some of them are trying to hold down a day job, and then you haven't got your time to totally dedicate yourself to your craft. So it's either you want to sacrifice the dedication and not be fully committed, that's unfair to say, but not have the time to be 100% the best you, which is lessening the chances of achievements, or do you want to sacrifice everything? And some people aren't in that position, so it's a really tough balance there, isn't it, in the early stages?
For me, it's one or the other. Like, if I went and got a day job now, my fighting's done, it's over. Like, that's me giving up, do you know what I mean? Like, I know the amount of time, like, I put into this. If I was to go and get a job to, like, look for a bit of stability, that's me, like, giving up on my career. I've just got to keep trusting that, like, it's going to pay off one day.
For me, Liam, and you say that makes me think that you are going to be successful. And when I say that, I truly believe that, because you can see you truly believe in you. And I think because you're one-track-minded, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
There's no other option, lad. Do you know what I mean? Where if you start like reinforcing your situation financially with like other options and stuff like that, then it takes the dedication away from what you're doing, and then it starts to bring in, well, if this doesn't work, I could do this, I could do that. But when you've got them options on the table, it makes it easier to make excuses. When there's no other option, it's like, look, if I fail, I'm going to fail forward. I'm going to fail committed. I'm going to fail flat on my face. And if I fail and it doesn't work, I'm going to be in a sorry situation, because you have got your missus and the baby. But in saying that, back to what we said before about the fear factor, that's another fear factor.
Yeah.
So when it's the alarm's going off and it's 5:30, 6 or whatever time you get up, you're like, it's raining, can't be arsed running, or whatever your routine is, then it's like, well, I've got it.
Yeah, you've got no choice. That is my job. Do you know what I mean?
It's your job.
No, I'm not getting paid for doing it, but still part of it.
Do you love your job?
I do, yeah. At times, same as anything in life, like, because I care about it, I hate it as well. Do you know what I mean? But the love definitely outweighs the hate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What are your strengths?
I think my biggest strength is also like my biggest weakness at times, and it's like my mind. Like sometimes, like, I'm like a terrible overthinker. I always have been since I was younger.
Meet your mate, lad.
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it? But at the same time, it's good as well. It just depends how you look at it. Like, I think one of the things that set me apart is like how well I understand fighting and how quick I can make decisions. People say like fight IQ. I've got like I like to think I've got a very high fight IQ.
Are you academic? Are you intelligent?
I was like,
pen to paper?
Like half my mates when they watch this will probably think I'm chatting shit. But when I was like very clever as a kid. Yeah. But then as I lost, for me to be good at something, I've got to be really invested in it.
I'm the same. I'm similar. Like as a child, like growing up, I was intelligent, and now I'm not. I wouldn't say I was highly intelligent, but I'm not silly either. But when you go through like your later school years, you start not applying yourself the same. Yeah. So if you don't apply yourself, there's no results. Where I feel like now, if I went back to school now, I think I'd do incredibly well. Well, I think I'd do so much better than I did in terms of getting results. Because at the time I was like, fuck this. Yeah, not interested.
I got to that stage myself.
Where if you'd applied yourself, you could be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters, Liam. Well, a lot of fighters aren't intelligent. No, that's the wrong. They're not academic.
I'd say that. Yeah.
They may be an intelligent, because intelligence is vast. It doesn't mean just putting pen to paper. You can be clever. You can be clever in a lot of ways. Yeah. But a lot of them, a lot of them aren't very good with pen and paper and stuff like that. So they've channeled their energies into other ways, and that's how they become a fighter. Yeah. But as you said, with your intelligence, it can be a hindrance, but it can be a help.
Yeah, 100%. I think like being able to make like split-second decisions, and like you said before, I think a lot of, I'm not saying this for everyone, but I think there are a lot of people who, like you said, they didn't have no other avenue in life, so it's tough or whatever, like, so they go to something like fighting. But I think fighting's more of like a thinking man's game than it is a physical man's game. Like anyone can become physical, do you know what I mean? But if you've not got like a good brain for it, then you can't like sort of develop that. You can a little bit, but not to the extent where it's going to be like one of your strengths.
Would you say that's your main strength, your mentality?
Yeah, I'd say like I said before, like my ability to like think in the moment. Like a lot of the time I do stuff in sparring, and like people say to me after it, like, oh, how did you do that? And it's like, I was just in the moment. I was just in the moment, like making the decisions fast, you know what I mean? Rather than like premeditating it, which I think some people do too much. Like I'm sort of just on autopilot when I'm going.
Do you think that's years and years and years of repetition?
Yeah, 100%. It's all about
just
repetition.
Like second nature. Yeah. Bang, bang. Whoa, how did I do that?
Like sensitivity, especially more so in grappling. Like you become like sensitive to
feeling
like when a time is that you should do something.
I've seen a moment on one of the reels. We'll speak about it a bit later, but like it went to go to the ground and you ducked underneath and just like flipped them over, and I was like, whoa, quick. I don't know what the fight was, but I'll pull it up. Yeah, I'll pull it up. So
Yeah, I've got a lot
anyone
of-
who watches it can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean. You've got good reactions. It's all very, very split second and thinking on the spot, on your feet, bang, quick decisions.
Yeah.
Decision making's key.
I'd say my skill set as well is one of my strengths, but I think my skill set comes from what was just speaking about, do you know what I mean? Being able to understand it, like being able to do it and being able to understand it are like two completely different things.
Let's get a little bit about your background. Growing up, your surroundings, your environment, your family you come from.
Yeah.
What was it like?
I honestly, like, I've got like pretty much the perfect upbringing. Like, I can't speak highly enough about my mum and dad and like the job they done for me. I think
I love that, you know, because you know the amount of people who I asked, they go, it was fucked, lad, or it was this, or it was that. A lot of people, and that's another thing, a lot of fighters come from like underprivileged, rough backgrounds.
Yeah. When at first, when I was thinking of coming on a podcast, I was thinking, shit, am I interested enough for this? Because I've had a nice life, mate. I've got no hardships to speak about. I've probably had it too good, if anything, but yeah, like I'd rather it be like that.
Where are you from?
Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Been getting set up for that since I was a kid.
Get out, lad. Nah, yeah, you got to own it, haven't you? That's where you're from, yeah. Growing up as a kid, what was you like, Liam? Was you shy? Was you quiet? Was you a fighter?
No,
was you?
I was a shit house, to be honest.
Was you?
Yeah, I used to play footy. I was that kid who, like, I was bad, you know. I was playing footy when I was about, like, 7 till about 10, 11. And, like, if a dog ran on the pitch, I'd run off the pitch. If the ball was going up for a header, I'd be, like, closing my eyes, looking away. I'd be, like, shitting out of tackles and that. But my dad was, like, the opposite. And he used to play footy. He was, like, getting stuck in and getting sent off and that. So, but I just weren't like that when I was a kid.
Would your dad give it to you a little bit? Like, Liam, you shit house or not?
No, like,
he just
this
leave
what
you
I mean.
be.
Like, I see so many parents now who are like pushy. Like, I know footy's bad for it, MMA and jiu-jitsu now.
I've got lads who play football. Like, I've got 3 boys myself.
Yeah.
And my eldest 9, the middle one 6, and the youngest 4. And they started to play football. Jared, my eldest lad, he hasn't been playing that long because he didn't really like it until he hit a certain age, and I never tried to push it on him. And now he started to play. I've just sort of let him develop, and now he's only been playing about 12 months, and he's coming on a lot in that period of time. But my middle lad, who's 6, at first I was like, look, Rube, you've got to do this. And then I just thought no, because it was like driving him away from it. So I've said nothing to him, and over the past, like, I'd say 2 months, he started to enjoy it a lot more, and he started to develop a lot more by me just leaving him be and letting him be. And every time he plays, when he's come off, whether he's been good or bad, Jared's a bit older, so when he finishes his game, if he says to me, Dad, how did I play? If he was shite, I'll be honest with him, but I won't be brutally with him. I'll say, look, son, you never played the best, but look, you done this very well, you done that well, but you need to work on X, Y, and Z. Where if that was me and I came off the pitch, me and Dad would go, that was shite, that Jack, do you know what I mean? Now that drove me, at tough love, made me want to become better, but for me now, I try and think in a different light, and like me middle lad, the one who's 6, when he comes off, he says, oh, Dad, I was gosh, weren't I? And even if he wins, I say, oh yeah, you're amazing. So when we're driving home, he's saying to the elder lad, he's saying, yeah, one day you'll get like me, Jared, you'll be a superstar and all that. And Jared's looking at me as if to say he's lost it him.
Nah, that's what it's all about when
now
you're that
he
age.
believes in himself.
Yeah.
And now you can start to see that coming through. So it's like now he's starting to become that person, well, that player he believes he is, because he's starting to develop.
The main thing is with a kid at that age as well, it's all about enjoyment. Like, they just got to enjoy what they do. They're a kid, like, if they're getting paid for it when they're older, like, let them start worrying about it then. But especially with fighting as well, you see it a lot, like, a lot of the parents, they don't have a clue about fighting. Like, they can't throw a punch, they've never trained a day in their life. So they're in no position to say, like, I see it all the time at, like, jiu-jitsu competitions, parents telling, like, the kids that the shit and that, like, they don't have a clue what they're on about. Like, they don't know what's good, what's bad. Like, you've never trained. You know what I mean? Whereas with football, everyone sort of got an idea of football because most people have played it. So you're sort of in a position to try and give a bit of advice. But like, I'm in no position to give advice on something that I've never done.
I've done a little bit of boxing, and I got beat we had a bout in town in Fusion, and I got beat. This kid, a good kid, beat me fair and square. And my dad after it was like, Jack, you know, you're throwing a lazy jab, and every time you threw that jab, he just lay back and he come over the top, blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And I said to him, Dad, look, I love you, but with the greatest respect, you're standing there with a pint in your hand, telling me this. I've just been beat, me pride dented to fuck, and like, it's not helping.
No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
what I love about my dad. Like, he knows that, like, he's not in a position to tell
and
me
my dad
what
will
I'm doing
always
well
try
or
and
not.
drive me on. He loves me in that sense, but that's just how he and he'll be like, what he's saying right as well. He'll be straight with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'd be like, you should, and if you do good, he'll be like, oh lad, you done well there, blah blah blah. But he's brutally honest with you at the same time. But with my kids, I try and work a little bit differently.
It is hard as well though when you've got a kid like, and like, because my little sister used to train jiu-jitsu, and it's just like an automatic response when it's someone you love. Like, if she do something bad, I'd be dying to like.
Yeah, you want them to
hard,
be good.
It's
you
hard.
want them to be good. And with touching back on the football, our football lad, I was never the best me, right? Can't lie. Shite. But I loved it, right? And I think like sometimes when I get that feeling inside me, when like I see them doing something and I want them to be good, that's me. Because I wanted to be good.
Like projecting it onto
so
them.
I'm like, go on, lad, or whatever. And I think to myself, no, just let him blossom, let him be him.
Yeah.
And if he's good, he's good. And if he's not, support him. Know what I mean?
This is what people need to realise about football and fighting though as well. It's two completely different things. Like playing football and like having like one-on-one combat with someone, especially as a kid, like that takes proper balls. You know what I mean? I see kids who are like 6 and that competing. And like, fair play, I would not have done that when I was that age, you know what I mean? It's boss that they're even getting on there and doing it, forget the results.
Yeah, because as well, like with football, it's a team game, and if it goes wrong, you got beat 3-0, you go home. With fighting, it's a different...
on someone else.
Yeah, you know with fighting, it's you're in there on your own, it's a one-man sport, and if you get beat, it hurts.
Yeah, 100%.
If you win, it hurts.
Like you said, you know, it does everything. But like you've had a fight yourself. You're not that feeling of like as you're about to walk out to a fight and that like it's so intense. There's no other thing in life compares to that feeling. And people that have never experienced it will never ever
see
understand.
People who like people who slag you and go, oh fucking hell or whatever. They're people who've never ever and probably never will step inside an octagon or a ring or have a street fight in their lives. No. They're the people who don't, the ones who were sitting on the couch who were pointing the finger, oh lad, that was shite, or you should have done this, or you should have done that. Like, if you've actually done it, you'll respect anybody who'd step in there, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. I've made up, so I've learned how to like, forget them people. Like I used to be proper bothered what people like that would think. Now I could not give a shit.
As Paddy said, lad, opinions are assholes and everyone's got one.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't give a shit what some fella who's never had a fight in his life got to say about me.
Do you know what? Like I was speaking to my missus about that last week, and I was saying like sometimes we think we're too important as well. Like we, in the sense of, we think everyone's asked about what we're doing.
No one's asked.
No one cares what Jack Brennan's doing today, tomorrow, this morning, last night. You know, but you put all this pressure on yourself. You know, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. No, if you want to do something, you do it. But if you don't have to do it. Yeah. But we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to sort of like fucking comply or whatever. But no one's asked.
No, it is right. Like if I win a fight, like let's say I get a big boss knockout, people might see it on Instagram and go, oh, that's good, Dad.
What's that?
My last fight, I was so fit, I trained my ass off for weeks and weeks and weeks, like in like proper good physical condition. And going into the second round, like lung-wise and like breath-wise, I weren't tired at all, but like your arms and that just go so heavy, and it's not even from nerves and that, like obviously nerves and that play a factor, but I think it's just off like the wake up, what you've put your body through, like your arms, your legs, you just literally can't feel them, and you're having to fight like that. So I'm hoping this time when I'm fighting, I always say I wish I could fight like how I feel in the gym. So like 3-4 weeks out from a fight where I feel like
you'd be
I could compete with anyone in the world, do you know what I mean? But it's just finding that I'm still young, so I'm gonna get it right eventually.
You will, yeah. I was about to say you've got time on your side, age massively. What's his name? You've lost me there. Yeah, I was saying.
What about someone who's went up a week? Was it?
No, I just had a mind blank there. I was as I was flowing. I don't know. I had something in my head. No, like really had something. What I wanted to speak to you about. Oh yeah, nerves. Yeah, nerves are a massive factor, aren't they?
Yeah, massive.
Good. You
can
feel. you can feel fatigued from nerves though, can't you, Liam?
Can drain,
For anyone who's never had a fight before or who's watching and that, tell us a little bit about that, like, that nervous energy, it can just, like, flush it out where, like, you start thinking, oh, I feel fucked here, and, like...
Yeah, my first ever fight, I had, like, people say, like, it's called an adrenaline dump. I had it so bad, like, you're in the back and you're, like, pure up for it, but it's the nerves that are getting you up for it. You get into the cage. I started off great. I was only, like, 15, I think, fighting, like, my first full headshot fight. And I was fighting an older kid who was stronger. Started great. After like 30 seconds, took him down, and then I'm thinking, I'm smashing it here. And the kid gets up to his feet, and I just remember standing up and going like, oh my God, what is up with me? Yeah. And it's not that I'm that unfit that I've got 30 seconds in me. It's like the nerves and like the pressure hit me. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I was absolutely spent. And I had to go and fight the full fight like that. But I'm made up for experiences like that. They're the kind of days that made me.
Strengthened you.
Yeah.
And made you the fighter you are today.
I still see it in the back with other people. Like my mate done it the other week. Was fighting for his first title. And in the back, he was so tense. He was sat there like dead stiff. And that we were all like, every time we get him up to it, pads, he was hitting the pads like the hardest I've ever seen anyone hit. But it was too much. Yeah. And then he got into his fight. And he gassed like straight away, but to be fair to me, he pulled that out the bag and got it done. Yeah,
he got it done.
Yeah, fucking legend. Well, was a sick fight as well.
Yeah.
But again, like you're saying before, the nerves just drain your energy. You got to learn how to manage it and control it.
That's what I was going to say. Managing it's definitely important. And then also as well, as you said, it's all experience. So later on in your career, when you do get them massive nights and when you do get them big opportunities, because obviously preparation needs to meet opportunity, and that's when the magic happens. But preparation sometimes not enough.
No.
Experience is key.
Experience
so if you're prepared and you can be the best physical shape you've ever been in, but if you've got no experience and you're in a really big fight or a really big moment, sometimes other factors come in, you can throw it away. Where all them moments, they all add for experience. And you realise how to deal with them situations as they arise.
This guy I'm fighting next week, he's 3-0. I think he was like 5-0 as an amateur, or he had a few fights as an amateur, but like he's every single one of his fights has been against like journeyman pretty much. So like,
but he got a shot.
But like he's competed wrestling at a very high level. He's wrestled in the Commonwealth Games and then he's fought boxing a lot. So I'm not sure like the level he's done that at, but like he's not been in a fight yet in MMA where it's like it's different.
Yeah,
like boxing
he could bring all the skills,
and all, it's different. Do you know what I mean? I know he's a very good fighter, and he might do, but we'll find out. I know I've been there like a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna fucking do it anyway. Do it properly.
Do you know when I've watched you, Liam? Like when I've watched your highlight reels, you're a fucking animal, lad. By the way,
son.
Animal, lad. You look calm. Yeah. Really calm when you're in the when you're in that octagon. You just look calm. Like I seen you dropped that lad in the first round. I can't think of what his name was.
Yeah. Harry Shaw.
Harry Shaw. Yeah. That was him. And like in the moments leading up to that shot, it's just like you were looking at him. It was like me and you sitting here now. Yeah. You can see you just looking at him, but you're calm. You're not flustered. You just it's like you're taking everything in.
That was the best I've felt that.
You just look like you were cruising. Yeah, present. Yeah. That's what I was saying. That's the word I was looking for. Present, but calm.
Yeah.
How do you stay calm and controlled in such a crazy environment?
What we were just speaking about is experience. I've experienced what it's like to not do that, and I've taught myself like, this is what I've got to do. And sort of like, I always used to pretend like I was calm before the fight, like fake it till you make it. Now I've done it that many times. I am calm when I fight now. I'm relaxed and I am present. I'm there. Do
you know if someone comes out, Liam, just absolutely erratic, right? And they're flying at you, can you contain that? Keep yourself contained and just think, okay, roll with that, bang, bang.
Yeah, I like that.
Because it's hard to not get pulled into it, innit?
Yeah.
And just start doing the madness yourself.
Just get stuck in yourself. But
Conor McGregor, for good and for bad, what people say about him or whatever, was a fucking don at it, lad, weren't he?
Yeah,
like, how he could stay calm.
He'd make people end up like, I don't need to hit him now, do you know what I mean? He just little pull and bang them, but he was the best, like, the best at it.
He'd just throw you in, nice and calm, slip, bang.
Yeah.
Off you pop. See you later. Done it with ease.
And he'd done that weeks leading up to the fight, getting someone tense and like Do you know what I mean? Like, look at Aldo, like,
Oh,
he's one of the
Aldo,
best
lad.
fighters ever.
That shot, that was the shot. When you
like,
when you
tense and
spoke to
stiff.
me, when we were talking about that then,
Yeah.
that was the fight that I had in
Yeah,
my
I was
mind, that
picturing it
moment.
myself.
Yeah, because he was just dead shit.
But look at how he is to where, like, how Aldo was, where, like I was saying before, like, about, like, when people are, like, tense and stiff and you feel like, oh, I've got to hit him now, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like I was saying before, it's like a think in the man game.
Remaining calm.
Yeah, staying calm, staying present. I think presence is, like, the main word, being there. It's easy to be head when you're in such, like, a high panic state to be running everywhere, so you've got to, like, bring yourself back.
It's a flow state as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're present and when you're calm, it's like one bang.
That's what I was saying before about sometimes I do stuff and people go like, what did you do there? And I'm like, I don't know, just in the moment, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you were flowing.
That's when your best stuff happens, defo.
Yeah, because that's when you're the most relaxed, and that's where you just
see stuff coming then. Like, whereas if you're tense and that,
you can try too hard, can't you?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just about letting everything go.
Yeah.
But that definitely down to experience.
Like when I used to fight, I'd get in the cage and I'd be too arsed about, like, I was just young, I was a kid, and like I said before, I'm glad I've done it all because now I've got the experience to learn from it. I'd get in the cage and I'd be too arsed about, like, playing up to the people around me and, like, trying to intimidate the kid and that, like, rather than being focused on me. Now when I get in the cage, I don't lift my hands to other people and, like, I'm just focused on me and him. You know what I mean? Like, me, and I just look at them. I'm not trying to, like, because like, I used to remember, like, I'd be like, put my arms up to people and then the referee's going fighting, like, shit, oh, this is going now. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I get in the cage now, I let myself settle in and then I'm there then, but when the fight starts.
Walk me through what it's like when you're in an absolute war. Do you know when, like, that last fight you did, where you said to me, like, okay, so you know when you're in nearly in, yeah, and like you've got in, right, yeah, you're at the first round or whatever, but now it's getting tough, lad, and the 2 years are fucking at it, and like you feel tired, and it's a war, lad, where you're getting it. Where do you ever have them moments that cross your mind where you don't want to be in there, or have you learned to combat them feelings, or are you thriving on that, like, that feeling of an all-out war?
It's hard to explain because it's hard to even put yourself into, like,
into that mind frame.
That mind frame, because it's just like, it's like you're not even there, do you know what I mean? But it's like the most intense feeling you'll ever feel. I think same with anything, your mind's just like racing, so you're getting thoughts of being like, it's natural for your body if you're in a state like that to be like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't meant to be happening, do you know what I mean? But I just don't have it in me to, like, to flap it all quick, do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm in there, I'm in there.
Do you know before a punch is thrown or any contacts happen?
At me?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
At you. Because, like, I've seen you get in there and you're slapping yourself and then, like, you're getting yourself ready and then you're in that fucking zone where it's like, this is go time, baby. Yeah. When this goes, this is going. You're like, and then, like, you get that, like, more calm, like you can see, yeah, ready here now to fight. Yeah. Before, when you're toe-to-toe at that moment, before any exchanges had happened, is that when the nervous energy's there the most?
Yeah, I think the first...
Do you reckon the second once you
get it, it's all right. That's why I slap myself hard before a fight me, and I make sure they look at me whilst I'm doing it. Like, so they like, I don't know what it is. Just like a little ritual I've got when I'm fighting. Yeah. But when, like, I think the worst punch is the first punch, like the first punch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially in the gloves that we fight in. In boxing gloves, it's different. Like, yeah, little gloves that it's worse than bare knuckle.
No, but you can be gun shy. Even in boxing, like, if you haven't sparred for a while, you get in there, bang, you get it. You're like, whoa. Yeah. Well, I forgot what that felt like.
Try it in 4-ounce gloves. It's silly.
4-ounce gloves.
4-ounce, but when you've got like the gloves I fought that Harry showed, and I had them on in the back. I was thinking, I can't be hitting him in these. Like honestly, like, they feel like I had 2 bricks on my hands because I have my hands wrapped and gloves on that are like solid. You're hitting pads thinking like...
Do you reckon you'd be hitting harder in them, Liam, than what you would if you never had nothing on your hands?
Yeah, because I think when you went, like, you sometimes see bare knuckle, like, you've got a half hold back on your punches, so you're just going to break your hands. With them, you feel like you got, like, 2...
Yeah, like 2 protection, but like 2 pads over your hand.
Whereas when you bare knuckle, it's hard to, like, fully commit on something, do you know what I mean?
When you're going in, obviously, you're thinking to yourself, if I hit him with these, does the thought ever cross your mind if he hits you with them?
Yeah, defo.
You're thinking if he lands on me with these on. Well, you know he's going to. That's the crazy thing about it. You know 100% if you go swimming, you're going to get wet.
Get wet at some point, yeah. I don't ever really think about getting hurt though. Like,
you can't.
Like, you think about bad things that could happen in a fight, but I never think about like the pain side of it. Like, oh, that might hurt me. That, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I don't think you could be a fighter.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're in the right
game
game if you're thinking about that. Like, that's just part of what you do. Do you know what I mean? You just gotta fucking get on with it, haven't you?
Is there a moment in there like where it gets tough, where you'll have like that flip moment in your mind where like he could be having like some of his better spells, then better moments where like he's just flowing? Do you feel that? Do you feel that in there, Liam? You know, if he's having a spell,
yeah, it's
can you feel it? And when you're having a spell, can you feel it?
Yeah, it's like energy and momentum in it. That's what that last fight was a hard one, because like I smashed the first round. I was like, yes, I'm gonna fucking do this. And then the second round, he took me down. And I'm a good grappler, this kid, but he just felt strong. He shut me down a bit. And like I said before, I felt weak.
Do you know when you've got that feeling in that moment there? I'm trying to get all the feels here. In that in that moment where like, you know, he's got the upper hand a little bit here, because you can feel it, that dominance, that little bit of physical dominance where it's like he's fucking it's on here, he's having me here. Is there a flip moment where it's like bang, you're back in it, bang, you hear him there, or you know, or is there a flip moment in your mind where you're like shit, and then you go, fuck this.
The last fight,
let's go.
Got to the point in the second round where I was like, I've lost this round now, like I'm gonna fucking get you in the third, do you know what I mean? And I'd come out and in my head, like I was absolutely goosed. I could see he was goosed, I could feel he was goosed when he was grabbing me.
How many minutes of the rounds?
5-minute rounds. Feels like forever, feels like it's never ending.
Wow. That's a serious fight, that.
No,
5-minute rounds.
3 5s. Yeah, long.
When it's all, basically, it's no old bad. It's just get out there and kill each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's
not easy. Like,
that's insane, lad.
Yeah. But what was he even saying about that last fight?
You were saying you were goosed and he was
goosed.
Yeah, and you were looking across the cage at him.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like it was one round, the piece was like, I need to get this round. And
Two wants it more,
the kid was a striker as well, so I was thinking I'm just going to have it with him now. And then I've come out ready to have it, and he shot on me straight away, which you weren't expecting. And then it was a dead good back and forth round. And like I said, I lost out in the last 40 seconds. I was on his back, and that's like my position when I get to someone's back. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, yeah. And then he ended up reversing and getting on top, and I was like, again, just felt absolutely spent. But
they're the moments, though, and see that, as you said, like, next Saturday, you're taking that in with you.
I've been there.
You're taking it in with you, though. Like, it's a plus.
Yeah,
it's a massive plus, lad. Do you know what I mean? Like, because when you're getting in that ring, in that cage next time, you know you've been there.
Yeah.
Has he been there? Well, if he hasn't, he's gonna have an hard night, lad, and he's gonna find out what it's like to go them places. Do you know what I mean?
I know I can take it there, and I know I can I'm sure at this stage in my career, there's a lot of people out there that could beat me, and I'm 21. Like, I'm talking like top of the game, but I just don't think there's anyone who I couldn't push to like their absolute limit.
Who are the names apart from yourself now, Liam? At 21 years of age, take the age out of the age factor out. Who are the names in that division that you're looking at now?
It's hard because I'm like floating in between. And to be honest, I don't like keep up with it all too much.
Yeah, you just focus
on you. I'm one
of
those
you.
people, like, I've got a manager now. They send me a name, I say yeah. Like, I'm not very picky with my fights.
Just say yeah to anyone, Liam.
I can honestly say, like, I've never turned down a person. I've turned down dates where, like, I can't do that date, or I wouldn't make way for that. Or, do you know what I mean? But I've never had someone like this. Is why I'm looking forward to this fight next week, because I got offered him. His name's Tommy Hawthorne. I got offered him for a show in March that I was like debating on doing, but I was getting sick all the time, and that's so I said no, but it went to him. So then the show I'm fighting on now, I was looking for a fight, and they've sent it to the guy I'm fighting, and he said that he's not going to fight us. He's already turned us down. So I was like,
you're going to get a shot.
See about that. Like, I'm not scared of him no more than I'm scared of anyone else. I'm scared of fighting everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because I want to fucking win. Like, that's where the fear comes from. Not because I'm scared of what you're going to do to me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. Like, so if he thinks I'm scared of him, he's got another thing coming. Like,
do you put limits on yourself, Liam, at the moment with your age?
In what sense? With, like,
any fight, any time, 100% in your mind, are you committed? If I said to you, if I pulled a certain name out, like fucking killing in that division at the minute, and said, would you fight him tomorrow? with the right circumstances.
Yeah,
would you?
I'd do it. Yeah, like I'm one of these people. I'm not scared of losing a fight. Like even if I lose, like I said before, like
I've just
I'm
had
gonna game from that. Do you know what I mean?
I've just recently had Luke Willis on, and he said records are for DJs.
No,
lad.
they are. A few commentators have said that on my fights because I didn't have like the cleanest record as an amateur. I lost my first few fights, but it was because I was challenging myself. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think to be a true champion, you've got to have lost. People say, "Oh, lad, he was fucking 20-0 and he was this and he was that." But has he ever been there where he's been beat? Has he ever been on the other end of a beating? It's all right when you're coming in, you're turning up, and you're the top dog all the time. Then the going's good and the tide's with you. So it's all right because you've got the sun on your face and the wind on your back. But when it's hard, when it's really hard, that's what defines character.
Yeah.
And then it's, can you come through that and come again?
Yeah.
And if you can, for me, that's a champion. Personally, that's my opinion. Some people would disagree and say, nah, I think it's about winning. It's about winning. It is about winning. They're all there to win. But if you've never lost, you can't call yourself a champion, in my opinion, because you've never been there.
Especially an amateur, like a lot of amateurs in MMA have started like trying to pad the record. Like your record gets wiped anyway when you turn pro. Like you should just be fighting anyone. If you've got like an undefeated amateur record, you're not fighting the right people because you're an amateur. You're not like the best fighter in the world. There should be someone out there who's good enough to beat you. Do you know what I mean?
And as an amateur as well, you're only both there for the same thing: the love of the sport and wanting to win.
Yeah.
You know, there's no journeymen who are getting paid just to turn up and get paid.
There is in MMA now. That's what it's like, yeah.
Well, they are right. I was going to speak to you about this anyway, because I'd like you to educate me a little bit here on the amateur scene in MMA. So, for example, in the boxing scene, it's very well regulated because you've got like the ABAs, haven't you? So, you know, the weights, you've got to be a similar weight to fight each other. Well, you've got to be the same weight. Experience, there's a record or a log for them to look at to say, well, how many bouts has he had? Well, how many bouts has he had? And now and again, maybe it might be manipulated slightly or whatever, but it's there or thereabouts 9 times out of 10. Don't get me wrong, there's the odd mismatch where, like, in the unlicensed scene, lad, that's fucking wild. Like, it's just, there's pitfalls everywhere because, like, you could get a kid who's boxed for years and he might just go, fuck it. He might have turned pro, it hasn't worked out, and he goes, fuck it, I just want to get the gloves on again. He jumps on a white collar show. My man from round the corner's been fucking got a couple of runs in 8 weeks and that, bit of pad work, and thinks, oh yeah, the fancy you go for charity, gets in there and just gets absolutely ironed out because there's just no comparison. In MMA, in the amateur world, is it well regulated?
Well, the thing is with MMA, there's no governing body, so like it's just like people doing it for themselves, but like people know what shows are good, and like a gym like ours, who's like a well-established gym, we only go near a few amateur shows.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like certain ones, that's when it'll start getting messy. Like,
yeah, do you
don't know what you're doing? Do you know what I mean?
In the world of MMA, is that like, I'm not asking you to call any of these shows out. What's that? That show's shite. Don't go. Nah. But is there certain shows with reputation? So basically, bad and good. Like, fucking don't go on there, lad. It could be a mismatch. That's a setup, or you know what I mean? Or like, yeah, it's always a fairly match fight on their shows. They're always a decent show. Yeah,
there is definitely shows like that. Like, there's certain shows where you'll go and it's like, you'll have a fight card of like 15 fights and you know who's going to win every single fight. And half of them are over in like 15 seconds. Wow. There's certain shows like that. But I don't keep up with none of that anyway. I go to the shows that like our gym puts fighters on. That's about it, and they're always good shows.
In the amateur game, there's no money, is there?
No, nothing. You get money for ticket sales.
So how does that work, Liam? Like, for example, say you weren't pro now and they said to me, "Yeah, do you want to fight Liam McCracken?" I'd say, "Fuck that." You're mad, lad. I'm there with him. You know what I mean? I know what's going to happen, and there's nothing on the other end of it for me.
Yeah.
Where even if they said to me now, do you want to jump in there with him, I'll give you 10 nicker, you'd have to ask me twice. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'd be thinking about that, thinking, well, I know how that's going to pan out. All right, yeah, I'm going to get paid, but I know what I'm getting paid for.
There's some sort of incentive then in it to fucking...
Yeah, it's a lose. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And we're losing. It's not just your pride that's getting dented, lad. You're getting physically dented as well. So... for the amateur shows, are they just getting misled? the opponents?
So sometimes like what might happen is you might get a lad who's, like I said before, done a lot of tickets. So some amateurs do loads of tickets. Like you might have a lad who's done 50 tickets, so they're making the show good money. So they might just give like a journeyman basically a few £100. You want to see the kip of some of the journeymen. Like it's not like boxing where like they can half box and they'll try and give them a fight. I'm talking like
they just grab my man off the road.
Smackheads. I've seen some funny sights at shows. I swear to God, I'm not gonna like
go on,
into
lad.
details. But
Shake the mic.
Me mates will be knowing what kind of people I'm on about. It's our last. To be fair, you look at them, you think, oh, you really shouldn't be having a fight. Like it's bad.
What, when they're warming up and that?
Oh,
don't you see them warming up?
We've had a few funny ones. Like,
just buzz. Do you know, say you're in the back, like, and like one of the lads is there, and he's on his game, you know he's a good fighter. He's cracking away at the pads and that, you can see he looks sharp, he's ready. And then, like, you're looking over the other side of the fucking dressing room going to yourself.
A few of my mates at Divies as well. My mate Dunny, like, he always gets, like, he goes over to them and starts, like, acting
cheering
like,
them up.
Yeah, and he's like, you've got this, lad, you've got this, and all that. Yeah. Oh, but it's bad, to be fair. Like,
and what are they saying? Are they keen? Are they up for it?
Yeah, they're just people who, like, it's to be honest, it's actually quite hard. Like, they come across to me like people who've got, like, problems, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't mean to laugh, but
it's hard not to, like, because they're going in there and having a fight, and it's just mad. It's mad, honestly. But like I said, on most of the proper shows, you don't see many of that.
Yeah, it's better. It's better regulated.
Yeah.
So, for you, how did combat sports come about?
Like I said, I was playing footy for a bit, and I stopped because I was a bit shit, to be honest. And then I just needed something to do. And my mum knew someone with a gym. So I went down there, and at first I done it because I needed a hobby. I needed something new.
What gym was it?
Hammer in St Helens. I was there for about 2-3 years. That's where I started my journey.
What type of gym was it? Was that a cage? Was that
an
MMA
gym? It's still like it's still going now. Still a good gym, yeah. But I just found something that fitted better for me. You know what I mean?
When you first went in there, was your intention just to get fit, or was your intention to maybe dip your toe in, or what are you thinking?
I had no intention of being a professional fighter. Like, I didn't think that was gonna be for me.
How old were you when you went in the gym?
10.
So you're going down this gym, you're 10 years of age, and you're just thinking you're going...
Just going to try something new. But I just fell in love with it straight away.
Instantly?
Yeah, like, yeah.
Who was the coach there?
Sean. His name is Sean Martin.
So Sean Martin, when you first seen Sean Martin and you seen the setup when you went in there, and what was your feelings like towards the place and that?
I just loved, like, everything about the training, and like getting my head punched in a bit and that. I was like, wow. And even not like after I'd finished the session, I was like, oh, I can do this, you know what I mean?
Do you know when you first went there, what would the sessions be like? Was it just fitness at first and then it developed into, or was it like the second you went in there, right, okay, everyone got a partner up?
Yeah, that's what it was. It's like that, just proper, just MMA training, do you know what I mean? Like,
I've never ever done an MMA session.
That long ago now, do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I've never done an MMA session, but walk me through. I'd imagine it'd be like that. Everyone get warm, get a partner, and this is what we're doing.
It depends what kind of class you're doing.
And what type of level you're at, yeah.
The thing is with MMA, like you said before, there's that many like different disciplines within. So if you're coming to just do a pure MMA class, if one of our fighters classes will look like get into a warm-up, like some partner drills and some mobility, bit of technique, and then you're live then. With your sparring or your rolling or whatever, do you know what I mean?
Okay. So, because I want to touch on the training side and that with you in just a short while. So, when you've went in the gym now, Liam, and you're actually in there, and you're getting familiar with these surroundings straight away, did you know there's something about this that you really enjoyed, you really liked?
Yeah, that's like I said, me passion switch from learning big words to fucking learning how to have a fight.
Taking big shots.
Yeah, taking big shots instead.
At what age did you realise that you wanted to compete?
When did I do my first competition? I think I must have been about 12. I'd done an interclub. Do you know what an interclub is? Yeah.
Basically, you go down and fight there, fighters out of their club. It's like a glorified, yeah.
With people around. And I'd done my first one. And I smoked the kid in like 30 seconds. I was like thinking, oh my God,
I'll kill anyone.
I'm an animal, me. And then I remember after it, there was like a big, massive kid who needed a match. And my coach was like saying to me, do you want to get in there and have one with him? I was like, yeah. Like,
No, but it will.
I would have done it, and this was so long ago now. I'm not even thinking back to all this. I've not even thought about this for years. And I had one with him. Like I went the distance with him. I had a little, like, it's just like a spar, but it broke my wrist in it, and I kept on fighting with the broken wrist. So I was like, I've got a bit of arm here.
Yeah.
And then that was when I first competed, and then I've done a few like grappling competitions, things like that. And then I had my first MMA fight. You might have seen a video on my Instagram where I'm like a little fat kid in the cage.
Oh, but we'll pull it up.
Yeah, you'll have to get it up. It's funny. I was about 13, I think, and I fought one of the lads that I train with now. I turned up on the day. He was like about 6'2". I was literally like a little umpa. I got smoked in like a minute, and then after that was when I started. Like I changed.
See that there though? Could I just touch on that a minute there when you said you got smoked in a minute? To go in there and get beat badly, really. Yeah. Some people would turn around and go, "This isn't for me." Yeah. Fuck that. But
it's
obviously
easy to stick out when you're winning, but when you're losing,
that shows resilience. Like you've got in there and went. So there for you, what are you thinking? I've got to go back to the drawing board and readjust, and I'm nowhere near as good as what I thought. I've got to. There's so much I've got to learn. What are you thinking?
I just wanted to just make a few changes. That was when I moved from.
Was that your first ever amateur contest? That proper.
No, because that was when you're at that age in MMA, because like the gloves and that you're fighting, you got to fight body shots, you can't get it in the head. So
okay.
You're getting it in the head and then it's curtains when you're that age.
So is it only body shots only?
Just body shots only until you're about... Well, I had my first headshot fight when I was 15.
See, with the body shots only, can you kick in that down below, down below the what is it, below the shoulder?
Anything below the shoulders.
And takedowns and all that.
It's more, to be honest, it's more of like a grappling fight with like strikes to the body.
Do you know what turns me off when I watch MMA, lad, and I think to myself, scary shit, them leg kicks, lad, they look brutal, like harsh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're like the ones, lad, you know what I mean? Because people don't realise, like, if you get booted in the leg like that, lad, like, proper leg kick like that, your legs are gone, lad.
I fought a lad called Corey Fry a few years ago. One of my last amateur fights, and he calf kicked me twice on the bounce. And I swear for like over a year, if I got touched in my leg dead light in a certain spot, my whole leg would go numb. Like for over a year, like he just wrote me leg off 2 kicks.
And lad, if you get kicked like that, obviously your legs are gone. Your mobility's gone. You fucked then, aren't you?
Starts down there, doesn't it?
So it's them leg kicks. I think they're rough as.
Yeah.
So it's anything below the chest, the shoulder,
as like a kid, up
to a certain age or a certain ability.
Depending on like your skill level, like when I got to like 15, I was quite good. So my coaches were confident enough to put me in like a headshot fight. That was headshots on the feet, but not on the ground. So there's no ground part. Called amateur B. It's like B class amateur.
So you can strike up on the feet, but when it goes to the floor, you can only grapple and wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a grappling. You can punch the body, but no ground and pound.
That ground and pound's rough as well, because like obviously, if you take me to the floor or an opponent to the floor. It's not where you want to be, lad, if it's ground and pound, because you're getting finished, aren't you? And that's the thing with MMA as well, where like with other sports, combat sports, boxing's one for an example, if you go to the floor, lad, that fight stopped immediately to recuperate, where there's none of that there. And he's standing there, the ref just having a little gander over going, got a few headshots landing there. Yeah. Nice that. Is he still in?
Or even if you get dropped,
till you can't defend yourself.
Following him. Jump on you and finish, you know what I mean? Marshall, like pretty much defenceless.
Yeah, because you're all over the place. You've lost all your senses.
See some bad ones where people are like out cold and they just take like another 3 shots that they just didn't have to take. But it's just part of it. Not like that, Let's hope we keep it that way.
Keep it that way, lad, please. Might like to see you on here again one time, lad, in the future. Let's keep you. And, okay, so your first ever contest at 15, where it was headshots. Yeah. Walk me through that. What was that like?
So I loved that. I won in like 50 seconds. So absolutely loved it. Thought I was the man.
There was your adrenaline rush different leading up to that fight, like going in early, because you knew like this is it for the first time. Like now, are they still in the 4-ounce gloves there?
Nah, the amateur gloves are 8.
Are they?
8-ounce. Professional 4.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Go on.
At the time, I'd won quite a lot of like good level grappling competitions. I won like the British Open, which is like at a high belt, which was like a big thing for me. Everything I was doing, I was winning. I've been at my new gym now for about 2 years under Phil and that, and I was flying, to be fair. So I went into that fight dead confident, feeling like I'll beat everyone.
You knew.
And then I went and won in like 50 odd seconds. I was like, just like reaffirmed it. But then...
Did you have a bit of a following?
Not really, no.
Your mates know about it and all that?
Nah, like I didn't really speak to any... I think I was just leaving school, but I just kept myself to myself. Like I didn't tell no one in school. That
Did anyone in school know you could fight? No?
A few of my mates did, like, and people like knew that I'd done it, but like I won the fight. I don't even know if I put anything on Instagram. Like I went.
Lucky none of the kids picked on you, lad. Outside to take your dinner money, or you'd got the shot, the lads.
I weren't doing it for that though. To, like,
No,
like,
I totally understand. Yeah, look at
I
me.
just enjoyed doing
no,
it.
I love that though. Like that, you done it to keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
and
so like I had that fight, kept it to myself, and then I ended up leaving school, and then pretty much just stopped speaking to people. Just everything just went in towards the gym then, and then that's when I said I had my other fight, which was like my first proper fight. So that other fight where it was like amateur B class, you can't ground and pound, you've got shinies on. This next one, I was either 15 or just turned 16. That was a proper fight, so no shinies, ground and pound, full fight against the kid who was like 20, which like that like 4-year difference is big.
At that age it is.
Yeah.
24 and 28 it's not, 28 and 32 it's not, 16 and 20 that's a difference.
And
that's like
you
that's
can see it like between me and the kid. I look like a little
you look a
scrawny
kid,
you know what I mean?
and he looks like a man.
He like looked more manly than me,
Yeah.
and I felt it as well in the fight.
Did you?
But again, like so grateful for them experiences there.
Did you lose that fight?
Yeah, but it was like a dead close split decision that I thought I won, like. But I'm not gonna cry about it. Like it's one of them. Like,
No, yeah. We take the losses.
I'm grateful that I lost because it made me get better. Do you know what I mean? And it's forgotten about now anyway. No one cares. Done it in the past.
Yeah, and even though it is forgotten about, Liam, it lives with you as a lesson.
Yeah,
because
100%.
we win or we learn.
Yeah.
That's it. You
and
know
if I
what
would
I
have
mean?
won, I might not have made the changes that I needed to.
No,
That I needed to make at that time.
And the really good fighters, they either win and learn or lose and learn, because people say, oh, we win or we learn. But if you're a really good fighter, even when you win, you could say, well, what could I do better? What did I learn from there that time? And try and implement that moving forward. You're a brown belt in BJJ, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Educate me a little bit on Jit. Tell me a little bit about Jit. What is the discipline of it, how you got into it, and the structure.
So I started putting more of a focus on jiu-jitsu when I moved to train with Phil, and I was about 13 or 14. And back then I was like training in the gi a lot.
Who is Phil?
Phil's like my head coach, Phil Turner.
Phil Turner?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was training in the gi quite a lot back then. My grappling got good, like I said. I was going into like good level competitions and winning a lot of them. But jiu-jitsu and MMA are two different things. So it got to the point where like Phil still said like he stopped me training in the gi because it's not like beneficial for MMA.
When you say the gi, you're talking about
like
the white suit that you wear, the gi, like karate gi.
Yeah,
I know
like
what
that.
you mean. Yeah.
So pulled away from that a little bit.
So now is this called no gi?
No gi. So you got gi and no gi. So I was still doing loads of no gi, still competing.
See no gi?
Yeah.
What is the difference between gi and no gi?
It's all grips. Like no gi is like a lot faster, whereas gi is quite boring. I hate gi. It's like a lot of grabbing and slowing.
Yeah, because you can grab them by the gi.
You can grab the gi and slow someone down.
Yeah, or like get it with crosses over, done it at the chest.
Horrible people who like take your gi out and wrap it around your legs and all that, but they're just little versions. Them. Stay away from people like that. But I've come away from gi completely.
Got me that one, lad.
But no gi's more exciting, do you know what I mean? But again,
so with no gi, you're physically grabbing the person, as to grabbing the clothing.
Yeah, so like the style of grappling's a little
bit
different.
In no gi, do you wear tight gear? So like your stuff
I don't like it. I don't like it when people do as well. It's a bit sussy, you know. Like some of my mates train.
Oh, spandex stuff.
Yeah, and like you know what a box is, like a groin guard. Like if you're gonna wear something tight, put a groin guard on. You know what I mean? Like anyone who comes in like that with like just full tight on, you gotta kick them for the shit. Like
the dodgy.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, stay away from them as well.
Yeah, so you're doing the no gi.
Yeah.
when you were doing the gi, the fucking, and you were wearing the gi, in this discipline, did you have belts, Liam?
Yeah, so
What standard was you at?
I got to the highest belt you can get for a kid, which is a green belt. So
what was the sequence? Run me through the sequence of belts.
As a kid, it's white, grey, yellow, orange, green. So green is like a junior black belt.
Yeah, you're
But then once like you get to the top of that, you start again as an adult, you know what I mean? So I got my green belt as a kid, turned 16, started again, and now I'm a brown belt, which is one off black. But it's not like karate where
so to get from green to brown, what's the steps, the concession?
So I went from green, I went back to white belt, then I went blue, purple, brown.
And then black.
And then black's next. But it's not like, I don't know, disrespect to some people, like, but you know, when you get like karate black belts.
No, lad, do you know what, right? I'm going to be dead honest, yeah. I was a black belt at karate when I was about 11, Shotokan karate, and it's nowhere near the same level. Like, yeah. I done karate from when I was about 7, and I was like one of the youngest black belts in the gym.
Yeah.
But looking back, you shouldn't have a black belt at that. No, because you just haven't got that skill set. I mean, a grading would come round for us. Yeah, it was once every 3 months. And the schedule of belts, it's hard for me to remember back because I'm going back now, but it was along the lines of this. I think it was white, orange, yellow, red, green. Then it went purple and white. You had like a tab in it. Brown, no purple, double white, brown and white, brown, double white, black. So there was a lot of steps to go from white to black. So like, you were grading every 3 months, where really in the world of jiu-jitsu and it's a different level.
If you're a blue belt, you're all right, you're starting to understand it. If you're a purple belt, like if you was a white belt and come in to roll with a purple, you'd be like, oh my god, they are good then. Very good black belt to life. How
does the progression work, Liam, in terms of how do you get to that next belt? Is there a grading, or will the coach come in and say, like, you know, they feel, is there a board? Does the coach give it?
So it's all on the coach, but you get like stripes in between, so like you can
tabs on your belt, like little red tabs or whatever.
Little white, you got like your belt and then there's like a little black tab and you get white stripes on that. So you go up to 4 stripes and then your next belt.
Are you on any tabs now on the brown?
No, but I don't train in the gi a lot, which you're meant to get graded in. I'm probably not far off my black belt now, probably like within the next 2 years I can probably see myself getting it.
So for you to get the black belt, what would happen? Would the coach come in and say, everyone sit down?
You could do, yeah.
And he could just go, yeah, or is there a certain, like, because for us, like, when we were doing karate, to get a black belt, all the other gradings it was in-house.
Yeah.
So it would be like, and it'd be like a kata, there'd be a certain follow movements, what you'd have to do and all that. And then there'd be like, there may be some, you know, contact, like there'd be some fucking sort of fighting, and they'd have a little look at that and whatever. But then when you got to the black belt, it was a bit different. There'd be other judges who were like part of this board from a different panel who'd come down. It was a bit more intimidating, and they'd all be sitting on the bench. And when you went in, you'd have to do like certain series of moves, so they could ask you whatever. Really, it'd be they'd just pick certain things out and say, "Can you, Liam, perform this? Do that, do that, do that," and then they'd ask you to do like a certain kata, which would be like all them movements put together, which is being practiced like a routine. And then they'd say, "Okay, stand there," and then they'd bring someone else in, and you'd have to fight that person. And they'd bring someone else in, and I think you'd had like 3, and then they'd sit back down, and at the end they'd say whether you passed or whether you failed. They'd call you up. You'd had a license. It's coming back to me. You'd had a little license, lad, and they'd come up and they'd say at the end, and they'd call your name, Liam McCracken, passed, Jack Brennan, failed, whatever the situation was. And for all the other gradings, there'd be like hundreds of kids in a room, or adults.
To pay for these?
No.
That's the thing I think with a lot of traditional martial arts, like they're just doing it.
Yeah, for the money, No, there'd be loads of people in the room, but then with the black belt, there was Jenny Sass. She was all right. She was going for a second dan, and she was older. Do you know what I mean? There'd be a couple, but there was about 6 of us in there, where the other times there'd be hundreds of people.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, sorry. How does that grading happen?
It's just like on the coach, and the coach thinks you're ready for your belt. Yeah,
he'll give it to you.
Simple as that. Like,
so it's earned more,
yeah,
innit?
it's more than like being like a set,
And I
a set
totally
thing.
understand, yeah, if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, it's a completely different world to that.
It's different, yeah.
Like, and I agree with, you shouldn't be able to attain a black belt at such a young age because you haven't got that skill or that capability to have that credibility.
I think it takes the credibility
away from
the
it.
belt
It
as
does,
well,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Because it should
a
be.
Black belt should mean something.
It's coveted, yeah. It's an honor. It's you've worked at it, and that represents the level you've achieved.
Well, like with something like karate, and I'm not trying to like disrespect. Like, I've never done it myself or nothing, but most people I know have done karate or a black belt in karate.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Whereas
yeah.
in jiu-jitsu,
you don't know.
with like most people don't make, like most people say people make it a blue belt and then they swerve it. Like, it's so hard to get a black belt. If you're a black belt, it means something.
Yeah.
Whereas in karate,
Yeah,
like, I know some karate black belts who don't know how to fight. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's just the truth though. What you're saying.
That's what I mean. I want to be honest with it. Do you know what I mean?
I love that though, lad. And I'm 100%. If I disagreed with you, I'd say no.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. You know what I mean?
As well, though, to add to that, I also know some karate black belts who are like boss kickers and stuff like that. Like, they're the people who should be black belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it should mean something for you to be.
And then and then it takes it away that there's someone like me sitting there going, yeah, I've got a black belt. Ask me to throw a kick all around the house now, and I'd be like,
obviously, I don't understand all the dans and things like that nowadays. That's just my observation from what I've seen of it.
No,
like.
it's true. I mean, I'm not taking that, as you say, I'm not taking the credibility away. There will be some black belts out there in karate who will twist you up.
Oh, like, there's a lad I used to do a little bit with him, wasn't he? I don't sure, like, what kind of karate and the different types, isn't there? His name's Hisham. Like, literally the best kicker I've ever seen. And out of all the disciplines I've ever seen, he was from karate. Like, I've never seen no one like it be able to kick like it, like silly. Like, that's what, like,
that was the level.
That's what a black belt should be. You know what I mean? Like, silly. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. So this is where MMA is very, very wide, like very, very vast in terms of there's so many disciplines, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you have different coaches for different things, Liam?
Sort of, yeah. So Phil and Dean and me.
Are you still with Phil now?
Yeah, Phil.
Where do you train out of? Where do you fight out of?
Aspire. Yeah, Aspire
Combat Sports. Down by the rock at the end of the M62 there.
That's the one. So yeah, Phil and Dean are like me MMA coaches. They overlook everything. Dean Garnett. Yeah. So Phil's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so he does a lot of like the grappling side with it. Dean's just like, he's like myself, like an MMA fighter. He does everything. Phil, again, now as well, he does me striking and things like that.
Do you look up to Dean?
Yeah, I look up to Phil, Dean, all of them. Aaron, all these people. These are the people I've looked up to since I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I saying then? But as for like other coaches, I'll go to Glenn for me Thai boxing. Joe Tonks, who's my boxing coach. Like,
seen you in pads with Joe Tonks.
Brought me boxing on massively.
Leap from bounds. Seen you spar on Paddy Lacey.
Yeah, spar with Paddy, things like that.
How do you find that, sparring with Paddy?
Boss experience.
I used to box with Paddy and Solly.
Paddy's a nice
sound all day. Good lad.
He's good for me as well to be able to spar people like that who like just boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he is. That's his discipline. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's. So you're going in there and you're mixing it up with the likes of him, and then you're doing like your jits, and then do you do strength and conditioning?
Do strength and conditioning.
Who do you do strength and conditioning with?
Danny and Femi out of our gym, two lads who like started off like as they were coming through uni. Now they've like took over. Also, I've got everything under one roof. Is it
difficult for you having so many different inputs?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, because I'm saying like the way it's all sort of under one roof. Phil and Dean overlook it all, so they're in charge. If it was going everywhere for everything,
it's hard. Up your arse, lad,
like, even Joe now's at our gym. Joe Tonks is coaching out of our gym as well, so it's all overseen by Phil and Dean.
I feel like that's what you need, because that was a concern when I was from the outside looking in. I'm thinking, if you're going down to a boxing gym and he's teaching you like one thing and one style and one way, and then he's got like obviously his own views and he's your coach, but he's not your head coach. Phil's your head coach,
and that's what they've all got a good relationship with. They understand.
Where if you haven't got a head coach, Liam, it's all over the place. Because like you go in there, he's telling you one thing, you're training with him, he's telling you something different, and you're trying to merge all that. Where Phil will be helping you merge these skills.
So what some people lack is like that figure to overlook it all and like sort of arrange it for you. Do you know what I mean? It's
organisation.
Organise it all for you. It's hard to get right. Do you know what I mean? It is, because there is so many things.
Structure.
Yeah,
That's
you
the,
need,
that's
like,
the, you've got to have structure. So, did you get into the jiu-jitsu first before the cage fighting, or was that a byproduct of the cage fighting?
Yeah, that was like more second. I got into like the MMA first, and then when I moved over from the other gym, grappling wasn't too good. Like I rolled with one of Phil's lads, and he just absolutely twisted me up so bad. I went home crying just week after week as I was going in. I thought I was all right, and I was getting absolutely twisted up so bad, just getting tapped with the same submission over and over again.
Frustrating.
Yeah, terrible, especially when you think you're all right, do you know what I mean? But that's how I learned, so I thought I've sort of...
Reality check?
Yeah, they got a big reality check, but like I said, I kept showing up. And that's what I sort of put my focus into my grappling a bit more then, because that was where my biggest hole was.
If you had a message out there to anybody who was going to aspire to be a fighter, would your message be to show up, Liam?
Just keep showing up. But make sure you're showing up to the right places. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no point keeping on showing up to some shit gym with a snag coat. Like, find somewhere like proper where you've got, look around, like look at the people you've got coming through. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing with a lot of gyms.
We
like,
can all live a life, can't we, as well? You could all go out there and say, oh yeah,
that's
I'm
what
this
a lot
or
of people
I'm
like
that.
to do, because like you were saying before, they want to look like they're a fighter and be like, I was in science and bitch, yeah, I'm a fighter. But they're not, do you know what I mean?
You're not, no. But you know in your own art of arts, if you're hard, if you want to be the best, you've got to work with the best.
Yeah.
So you with Phil in Aspire Combats, and that's where like you really started coming on with the grappling.
Yeah.
Is that when you chose to go down the road of the jiu-jitsu road, or was that when you started saying, right, I'm going to get more into the no-gi and I'm going to try and develop?
I was just doing jiu-jitsu to supplement my MMA, do you know what I mean? Because me getting better at grappling was going to benefit my MMA anyway. And it's hard to get MMA fights all the time, whereas I could compete jiu-jitsu every weekend if I wanted, do you know what I mean? So it was good for me getting competition experience and things like that, just developing my game.
Where do you think you're better, striking or grappling? If I had to ask you...
It got to the point where it was definitely me grappling until I was about, like, as all my amateur fights, I was a grappler, I was known as a grappler. But now, like, a lot of me spars and me fights, I don't really shoot takedowns. Like, my hands I reckon my hands are probably one of my strongest things now.
Mm-hmm. And when I was watching you at the pads, I was thinking, you look sharp, you can see you've got power in both hands, your hand speed's good in that, and you punch him properly. Do you know what I mean? Because like some MMA fighters, and I'm not being disrespectful because they fucking smash your head in, but I'm saying...
No, they can't box though.
No, they can't box, lad. Like, I'm looking going, lad, he can't really throw a punch. There might be power in them and the mad shots and whatever, but like if you put them in with someone who really knows how to box, they'd just be bang, bang, easy work. But if you can physically box, like if you've got that skill set, because I think there's no purer form hands wise of boxing, like if you know how to throw punches properly and you've got that and you know how to throw like short range shots, long range shots and that, and you can do it efficiently and do it well and good with getting in and out with your feet, that's got to be a massive part, because then that's the hands covered. For the feet, Liam, for the legs, kick him. Where'd you practice that?
So I've been struggling kicking it lately, to be honest. When will this be out?
After your fight.
I'm going to say the kid I'm fighting me seeing this. I've not been able to kick properly for ages. My feet are fucked. Like, I need to take some time to get my feet sorted. Like, just dislocated toes and that, like, proper fragile feet. So I've not been kicking for a while.
Do you know what? That's a boss thing to touch on, because I was going to say to you, you can sort of like mask certain areas with other abilities, can't you?
That's
you know what I mean? Like if you think, right, I'm going to
fighting through that for like 6 months, you know what I mean?
My feet aren't the best at the moment, so I'll use my hands a bit more and I'll use takedowns a little bit more.
To like boxing, wrestling, whereas like my kicking's a good part of my game, but I've not been able to use it, not been able to train it. I'm in my fight, like I'm going to kick him. I'll be sat on my ass about it, my feet in my fight, do you know what I mean?
But you don't do it.
In sparring, if I've been knocking my feet, I'm limping for days.
Elbows are fucking a killer's move as well.
See,
nice. Close in one, bang, and go.
Well, that's what I cut that kid's head open with last time, and that was just off my back. Like, I'm dangerous wherever the fight goes. Like, I was literally on my back, spent, and I still just split his head open. At
first, you know, in its infancy, when you first started. Was there certain areas where you weren't as good, so you didn't really want the fight to go there?
Yeah, well, when I was fighting amateur, I wasn't as comfortable on the feet.
So you used to just try and get them to the ground?
Again, this is where I was doing a lot of grappling. Like, you go to what what you know best. You know what I mean? So if I'm sparring and throughout my 8 weeks of sparring, I'm taking people down and like I'm smashing them on the ground. That's what I'm gonna go to in my fight because that's what's been working for me.
Yeah.
Whereas now I have a lot of success on my feet in sparring and I'm like very confident on the feet.
Well, that's good because that you've started to become more rounded as a fighter because then you, as you said, no matter where that fight goes, because you can try and take control of it and try and take it to a certain way.
Yeah.
But like if he's good at just getting past that, like that striking, getting past that guard and just grabbing hold of you, then that's gone. Now he's nullified the striking, so then you've got to try and move into using other aspects.
I have to be honest with myself as well because I'm not that asked about like being like what people want to watch, but at the same time, like I don't want to be known as a boring fighter. No, grappling from the outside. If you've never done it, it can be boring to watch.
It's a long thing. If you're watching, like me personally, look, listen, anyone who's watching fighting, they want to see people get hit.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
It's brutal, lad, but it's true. Like if you're a ticket seller, even as a boxer, lad, if you're light and you're silky as fuck, lad, you're brilliant skill set. Boss, like if as a boxing fan, if you're watching, you go, lad, he's mustard him, like how he slips the shots, he closes the range down at the little shot you don't see and all that. Lad, the fella around the corner who's just come out the alehouse doesn't give a fuck about him. He wants to see my man getting laid out. That's what he wants to see, and that's what sells tickets. And yeah, for me, if I watch a bit of MMA, I'm like, I love it when they're on the feet, striking, bang, bang. I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's fire, leg shots and head shots and all that. But when it goes to the floor, don't get me wrong, sometimes it is spicy. But if the whole fight's just on the floor, I'm like, come on. And you know, especially if it's like where it's a bit of a stalemate, where like they're rolling, but they're both having a bit of a breather for a minute and then time's ticking by, I'm thinking, get up and smash each other's heads in, you know what I mean? Look, and that's what people want to pay for.
That's what I so thought. If I want to like make it and get people like backing me, I need to make me style
Change
more.
Your style. Make it more exciting.
Make it more exciting, even for me as well. Yeah. I used to hate coming out of a fight thinking, I want to hurt them as well, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come out of a fight thinking, I've just hugged you there for 3 rounds. Feel like a bit of a shit house after it, don't you? So I've definitely got a style more now where like...
What's your dream, Liam? What's your dream goal? In and out of the octagon, what is your dream goal?
Just being happy and having like a good, healthy family. That's my main thing above all to do with the fighting and things like that.
As a fighter?
As a fighter, I don't know. I don't want to put too much pressure on anything. Like I just
without pressure, lad. Without that camera being there, you saying to me now, if I said to you, Liam, what's your goal, lad?
Since I was a kid, I've wanted to be in the UFC and be the UFC champion.
So you want to be the UFC champion?
The more I've got older, the more I'm like, there's other like promotions now and like things like that where I've got a family and I do want to provide for them as well. Like the shows like PFL and things like that.
Let's talk about the UFC.
Yeah.
Is it the dream, Liam? If I said to you, fuck PFL and all that, if I said to you,
I'd rather be there.
I put them all on the table now.
Yeah, that'd be the one I go for.
The UFC's the one, yeah, right. Yeah. And so your dream is to be a UFC champion.
Yeah.
Let me hear you say that out loud, baby.
Yeah, no, that it is, yeah.
So, how do you get in the UFC? How do you get a contract for the UFC? How does that come about?
So the way I'm looking to do it is keep fighting, keep building my record. And then have you seen Dana White's Contender Series?
Yeah, I've seen the Contender. I used to watch like the what's it called? The Ultimate Fighting Championships and that, lad, years ago, and that boss. So go on.
But that Contender Series is like one of the main ways in now. So I've got a manager now. My management team's over in America, so like they've got good connections with that. So if I can get myself to like, so I'm 3-1 now. If I can get myself to 6-1, 7-1, they'll start looking at me for that.
Okay. So for you, for a fighter, not even necessarily for yourself, just for a fighter, you're looking to get a succession of wins. Obviously, all fighters are, but I mean, there's no other really way into it. You've got to hope that you have like a winning streak where you win a good few fights in succession, and then the phone goes.
You got to impress and just keep impressing, waiting for that phone call. That's it. It's simple as that.
Off Dana.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
It won't be Dana himself on the other end of the phone, yeah, but it'll be someone saying, listen,
Yeah, exactly that. Like, but a lot of it goes through management, so I probably wouldn't earn nothing. It'd go through my manager, they come through me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that call's going to come, Liam?
Yeah.
That you're going to get that call, that dream call for the UFC?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't think I'm that far away now, just because that
Are
last
you
fight,
of the same ilk and credibility to follow in the footsteps of the likes of Paddy the Baddy, Molly McCann, Tom Aspinall, Darren Till? Are you at that level?
skill wise, I know I am, yeah, 100%. Like, I've trained with people in the UFC before.
Why? So there's nothing else to stop you,
No,
Liam. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
I know the level of people in the UFC, and it's not like, it's not on, like I said before, it's not on different to like
to the level you're at now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's just because it's branded?
Yeah.
He's in the UFC.
He's in the UFC. Yeah, people think that automatically makes.
Don't get me wrong.
Fighter.
They are all dons in the UFC because you're not in the UFC for nothing. Because you can't. That's one thing I like about the cage fighting as well. I mean, it is getting more broad now. So like, there's more bodies, as you said. There's more avenues to go down. But with the boxing, like, there could be like so many loads of belts, lad, at that one weight. Do you know, like, there's certain ones like the WBA, the WBC, they like WBU. They're the ones who, like, they're the main governing bodies. They're the belts you want. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying in the UFC, there's one champ, lad.
Yeah, that's the person.
So if you're the champ,
you're the man, yeah. There's no questions about it.
And I like that about it.
Yeah, I think
that's
the best thing. One of the best things about the sport.
And it's true. It's like the way you were saying before about, like, when we touched on like the black belts with karate, and there's a lot of pretenders out there. With this game, there's no pretending.
There's no hiding. Like,
if you are, and if you're not, you're not.
Yeah,
and if you try and you get found out.
Yeah, simple as that, innit? Like, that's the thing with now. Like, coming off a loss, I could easily have just picked a fight where it's like
an easy fight.
I could have done that for my next 4 fights and gone into the contender series, but that's just not. It's what most people do, but it's not who I am. Like,
do you know what I feel like? Right, I'm not in your position, but you're making the right choices, Liam. Because, and I'm no one to give advice either, but if you were to say bang a couple of journeymen to get you following up and to also pad your record a little bit, if you then go and step up against them fighters of serious ilk, you're gonna find it hard, lad. Because there's questions in your mind that you haven't took the real test, the acid test, where if you're fighting now, anyone who's put in front of you and you're really taking it to them and you're fighting at a good level, when that time comes, it'll come on warranted what you've earned.
That's exactly it.
And when them opportunities arise, you will be ready. You'll belong there, and you'll know you belong there, lad.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of these people. They've got loads of hype around them at the minute and they're smashing it because they're like, they're knocking this person out who's shite, or they're knocking that person out who's there to get beat. You know what I mean? And like, it looks like you're amazing, but what's going to happen when you've got someone in front of you who's like, you sort of like, I'm scared of like forgetting what it's like to be in an actual fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a proper fight.
A proper fight.
Yeah. Well, you're keeping yourself current and you're keeping yourself fresh.
And Tell me, if I'm not ready for it, I'm not ready for it. Like,
but you'll know the only way you're gonna know exactly ready for is by testing yourself.
If I need to improve, I'd rather find out now that I've got work to do than blag me way all the way there, and then
when the world's watching,
exactly,
and you've got all that pressure on you,
yeah,
definitely, yeah.
Like, I know when I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be ready for it because I'm battle tested now. I'm only 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for such a young age, you've got vast experience, really though, and you've got time on your side, Liam.
Yeah, exactly.
There's abundance.
There's no rush. It's like sometimes I forget how much time I've actually got.
Walk me through what's going on in your mind from the dressing room to the octagon. And I want all the feels, lad. I want you to make me feel it.
Main things, I'm shitting me gex, like, if I'm gonna be honest with you. That is the main thing, but at the same time, like, excitement and like ready to
when that time comes, Liam, and you know, like they say, you're on in 5 minutes, lad. What happens? Is there a knock on the door?
Someone comes into the back and like they put your tape on, like, are you ready? And you're like, I've got to be out here, haven't I? Like, that's when your heart sinks and it's like, oh, it's happening now. But then as soon as I'm out and then I'm walking out and that, it's like going to like, it's like the only way I can describe it's like I'm in an out-of-body experience. It's like I'm in a film or something. It feels mad.
Yeah, walking to the ring.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To the cage. When you're some of the shows, Liam, you fought on, seeing what I've seen on camera, looked like there was a lot of people in attendance and it looks big, it looks hostile and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does that have an impact on you?
It did used to, like I was saying before, I've sort of learned to just like block that out now. Doesn't matter
So if you
anymore
were
to
fighting
me.
in the Echo Arena tomorrow, Liam, and it was a big show, big night and that, like really big night, do you think you'd be able to like step up and handle that?
Yeah, that last fight I fought was in the Free Arena in Dublin, which is like
Similar.
massive, sick venue, chocker. Do you know what I mean? I was on one of the early fights in the car to the arena that hadn't filled up, like, but like, it's sick, the gaff. It's like when UFC come over with McGregor, that's where he fought. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know when you're in
venue.
that type of arena, was the press conferences leading up to that and stuff like that?
I wasn't, because I was on the prelims, I weren't in it, like, but
yeah.
even just the experience of like
being there.
being around it.
Do you know when you're on a show like that, of that stature, do you feel like you're getting closer to that goal?
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it's all about.
It was mad. Like when we got there, do you know who Robbie Lawler is?
No,
He's like
I've heard of Robbie
He's
Lawler.
like one of the biggest like UFC legends ever. He was the champion and that. We got to the fighters' hotel where we were staying. The hotel was sick. It was mad. And we got our key and that. Pressed the lift. And the first person who came out the lift was Robbie Lawler. Me and my mate just looked at each other like, mad this. And then like all week you were seeing people who were like, you've been watching on the telly and that. You know,
and you're in and around them.
You're in and around them, like cutting weight, and like Zabit, who's like another like big name in the sport, is there helping his brother cut weight who's fighting in the car. Just like, this is mad. This when
exciting.
boss experience. Like, that's why I'm grateful I've done it. Like I said, it could have been easy for me to be like, when I got that fight through, like, oh, I don't need that fight just yet. I want to get to like, but I just took it, and I'm so glad I did. I've got a loss on my record. Who's asked that I'm not.
Fuck it, lad. It doesn't matter. You've got experience on your record.
Much better fighter now.
Yeah.
Because of that. So
look, if you look back in 2 years' time and went win, and you look at all the names and go, bin man, journeyman.
Yes. Means nothing anyway, does it?
Crab, another crab. Where it's like, fucking hell, he fought him, he lost, but that kid turned out to be someone heavy. Yeah. They're the experienced fights, lad. They're the ones that you look back on. They'll be the ones. See that fight that you've just had, yeah? Do you know in a year's time, when you're in a proper tough tear-up, or next week, or whenever it fucking may be,
next week if I've got to fall
you're
back
going to dig in that bag, lad, and go, been here before, bang.
Yeah.
Where if you've never been there before, next week could have been last time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? That time will come.
Yeah.
So you ain't ready to like just get over that edge. Well, next time you will be. Yeah. It's every day you're improving. It's you against you again.
Yeah.
Fight camp. What goes into a fight camp for you, lad? Walk me through a standard camp.
Pure sacrifice. It's hard. Depends how long you get. I used to like a longer camp. The more now I'm starting to like a shorter camp because I'm training year round, like non-stop.
Yeah.
So fight camp for me is not much difference in the sense of training, because I'm training all the time anyway. It's just a bit more intense. It becomes more about losing weight
than it does about getting active.
Yeah, that's why this camp, it's been nice being able to like I've been sparring loads this camp. If I spar and I've had a good day sparring, I don't have to like, oh, I've got to train again later, I need to run to get my weight off. It's just like, I've had a good day, that'll do me. Do you know what I mean?
See the sparring, Liam, yeah?
Yeah.
Talk to me about sparring. Do you have shin pads on?
Jim, I think I've got it down, sparring.
Because that's what's been in my head. I've been thinking, how do they spar? How do they get that? Because the aim of sparring is to get it as close to competition as you possibly can, innit? Yeah. Well, it is as close.
Yeah.
So walk me through a sparring session.
Jim, like, I've got the sparring down, I'd say, because we do it like, it's not too heavy. You can't afford to be going heavy in them little gloves. Trust me, like, if you're you're going to get hurt. So we go shinnies, we go sparring gloves, but the gloves are like padded amateur gloves, so they're amateur gloves, but with more padding on. You know what I mean? So you got like sparring gloves and fight gloves. So we go amateur like sparring gloves.
Yeah, because
you hit in them, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but it's still got that same type of feel to the glove and that.
Of an MMA
where if you had a fucking 16-ounce fucking boxing gloves on,
you can't grapple things like that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how we spar. We have a sparring class of a Tuesday. We just go like, we'll do like 10 rounds, mix up with different bodies, and then
how long does it last for?
We'll get the amateurs done first, and then the pros get in and do the 5-minute rounds. So we'll do like warm-up rounds and then 5-5s. But then, like, let's say, because I've got a fight coming up now, I've been doing like my own sparring with like the likes of Dean and another one of my trainer partners, Callum, where it's just me and him. This is where like we'll go harder. So we've got another gym over in the Wirral with a cage in, So being going to the cage, it feels like you're having a fight. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say.
We
Yeah.
both
Simulation.
go where it's like a fight simulation. We both know that like
It's gonna be a war.
and it's just me and him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like the coaches there, like that's where it's more real. But I only need a few of them at camp. If I'm doing that every week, I'm just
too much.
taking punches to me head.
Yeah, and miles off the clock and that. But it's enough to keep you knowing I'm doing enough here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know when you're in there, Liam, and you're sparring?
Yeah.
Is the coach walking you through things and talking you through things?
Yeah.
Get out of that, Liam. Put that left arm over.
Yeah, both my coaches are like, I think they're very, very high level. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of faith and trust in them, so they know what they're on about.
Yeah, definitely. You need, your team's very, very, very important in it. You've got to make sure you're in the right hands. Otherwise, as you say, lad, you're just going that you're wasting your time. You're going down the wrong roads with the journey.
Exactly.
When we said about the weight cut, I know it's not really a good time to be asking you these questions, but what are your go-to snacks, lad? Are you a burger man? Are you a pizza man? Tell me about them sweets and that.
Bastard, you know.
Yeah.
So bad, like.
Give me some of the good gear, lad.
Anything I can get my hands on. I swear. It's terrible, you know. I go through phases. At the minute, I can't wait till after me fight, like French toast.
French toast?
Okay. A bit of French toast.
What else is on the menu, lad?
Anything sweet. But like, just a greedy cunt. Like, if I go for French toast for brekkie, I'll get like a proper brekkie and then me French toast.
Yeah.
Then I'm getting like a coffee or a fucking milkshake or something as well.
Got to, lad, yeah.
Got a terrible relationship with food, like, what?
But it's not, it can be, but it's healthy at the same time because you need them little things to look forward to and to spur you on, definitely. When you're out allowed off the leash a little bit, Liam, just try and control it. Obviously, like, I don't mean at the time. I'm saying go fucking mad as you want, but like, just try and limit the time periods for that go mad as you want time period or not.
It's hard. I feel like I've had a fight booked since September. So September last year, I got my fight booked for December. Then I got me one booked for February. Then I had me one booked for this. Then I've got one booked for July. Like,
so you're not getting off it?
No, I'm never off the fucking leash, so...
Yeah, but you know, like after this fight, will you be able to have a little bit of French toast and whatever?
I'll do what I want anyway. My food's my worst thing. Even sometimes I'll be in camp and like, that's probably where like, I'm the least disciplined. I'm good for the most part, but that's why I went overweight, because I hate my life if I can't eat what I want.
Yeah.
It might sound mad, like,
but yeah. No, like I totally understand, because I've made weight before and it's like, just does your head in.
It's horrible.
What do you like to live around?
It's like if I'm dieting.
Would you diet and that? You're a nasty bastard, angry and that. Do your bird's head in?
Yeah, it's more my dad. Every fight week, my dad nearly comes to blows, like, but he's just as bad as me.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to.
Yeah, and he's going on, you know, you're not doing that, and blah, blah, blah.
He'll just say something that doesn't need to be said, but my dad's more like my mate, you know what I mean? He's not like one of them where, like...
Especially when you cut carbs and stuff like that, though, as well. You can get ratty, can't you? You know what I mean? Bad. You're tired and that.
Terrible.
Hard work.
People know to, like, sort of just back off from me.
And that's the other thing as well, being a fighter, innit? You know, it's having that team around you, but it's having a good family around you as well. Yeah. Like, your missus understanding, going, you know, she knows what you're going through, she knows what you're doing. And to just take that little bit of a backseat sometimes when she probably doesn't even want to, because she thinks, I'll fucking head kick you now, lad. You think you're a bad man, I'll get you in a chicken on the bed.
Me bird's the boss, like.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah. But without your bird, you wouldn't have that same structure and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted a little insight at that. Usually in cracking out the cage.
Just a dad. That's changed a lot.
Got a little girl called Marla, haven't you?
Little girl, Marla.
You love us a bit.
Yeah, best thing to ever happen to me.
I'm about to have a little girl now.
Yeah. You said you got lads on.
I've got lads, and this is our last. We're having a little girl. Yeah. Carmen's due on the 30th of this month, like, so I'm looking forward to it. Little girl. Yeah, because it's a girl, it's different, innit? Yeah. You know what I mean? I haven't had that experience before and stuff like that, so it's gonna be a change.
Yeah.
And my little lads are coming up with all crazy names. Jared, Sophie, Margaret, and Dot and all that. What are you talking about?
No, it's the best thing now, being a parent. Like, I definitely changed outside of fighting since I've had like, that's all I'm asked about, even more so than fighting. Like, everything comes second to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your world, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what, as well? It's going to be a driving force for you moving forward, Liam, because you know you've got something to give for, because a man without purpose is a man without goals. Yeah. Man without goals, lad, you forget about it.
Yeah.
You're just existing, you're not living. But if you've got a purpose, purpose creates passion.
Yeah,
and you
provide for it. I've got no choice. You know what I mean? So,
And as I said earlier on, I truly believe you. I do genuinely, when I sit there and speak to you, I do believe you're going to be successful.
yeah,
I really do.
appreciate that, nice one.
So tell us a little bit about the future. You've got a fight next Saturday.
Fight next Saturday, the 20th of May in Preston. Hopefully get that done as quick as I can.
Can anyone get tickets to go and watch this fight?
Yeah,
How are the tickets available?
I've got tickets. So,
Have you?
Yeah.
So kick into you and DM,
anyone, give me a DM if anyone wants tickets. And then I've got a fight lined up in July in Amsterdam as well, on my birthday.
On your birthday?
Yeah. Nice. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
How old will you be? 22?
22.
You're going to be getting a nice little birthday present there, aren't you? With another win on the record, hopefully.
Nice, yeah.
Future, you're just going to keep cracking on, keep working towards the goal.
Yeah, keep trying to better myself every day, every single week.
I feel like that.
I'm a better fighter.
That there's a notion of self-improvement, obviously, in the lifestyle you're leading, in terms of in the cage, you're vying to improve all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's coming outside into your life as well,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm obsessed with being as
good as you can.
Good as a dad and as good as
I am.
a boyfriend, and that's
Yeah, I want to be a better person every day. I just want to be a little bit better every day. Surround yourself with the motivated lad and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Liam, and I really appreciate you taking the time, especially so close to coming up to a fight, to come on. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, lad. Thank you.
I wouldn't have done it if I was fighting at 66. If I was fighting 70 and being alright.
Oh, he let himself down.
Nah, nice one. To enjoy this.
No,
good fun.
Thank you. Would you like to do a little shout out before we go to any of your sponsors, anyone who's helped you, your family members, friends, anyone at all, far away?
If I do my sponsors, I always end up forgetting someone. So anyone who does sponsor me, like, honestly, massive help. Appreciate them all, like, more than they'll know. Like, it wouldn't be possible without them, do you know what I mean?
Sponsors are a vital part, aren't they? To survival.
Yeah, I swear. And then all my family and my gym, like, everyone who does anything for me, like, wouldn't be where I am today without any ears. So,
what about your head coach, maybe, and Dean?
Yeah,
maybe
Phil and Dean, they're like outside, like in the gym, they're like my father figures in the gym, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've got like
at home.
Yeah, at home. So yeah.
Liam, thanks very much for coming on.
Nice one, mate. Appreciate
Guys,
it.
thanks very much for watching. If you could give us a little subscribe, if you can hit the bell at the bottom, if it's on YouTube, if you could give us a little follow on Instagram, little like on Facebook, we really appreciate it. And until next time, thanks very much for tuning in.